Hello and welcome back. In the last video, we took a look at this more like this query and we already implemented it in our search service. Now we want to implement another method, and the method will be a method that will be used to perform some queries. Okay, so inside the Elasticsearch operators, you can perform some kind of queries. So what we want to do with this method is we want to use it to return the highest rated gigs. So maybe we just want to return gigs with 5-star ratings for a particular category. Okay, so for a particular category, I want to return all the gigs with the highest rating. Okay, so probably with 5-star ratings. Okay, so we are going to use all of these properties to perform the operations. And with that, here on the same page, you can go to the scripts section. So click on scripts. Okay, so the script query, these are filters documents based on a provided script. Okay, so the script query is typically used in a filter context. So in order for us to use this, it will be used in a filter context. Now there is a warning here. It says using scripts can result in slower search speeds. Yeah, I think for our own case, I think it's fine for us, most especially the case whereby we don't have much documents. Okay, and in order for you to use the search query, this is an example request. You add your query, you add the bool operator, you add the filter operator, and then you set your script operator. Inside the script operator, that is where you can create your script or add whatever operations you want to add. Okay, so with this script, you can get access to the documents, okay, in this doc property, and then each of these individual properties, they are available in this doc. Okay, so the one that we want to use, if we scroll down, yes, this is the one we want to use, the one under the custom parameters section. Okay, so it says like filters, scripts are cached for faster execution, and then we recommend you store them in the script params parameter. Okay, so this is what we want to use. Okay, so I can open this. Let me click open this in a new tab. Okay, so we add our query operator bool filter script, and then we set the script. We set the source. Okay, so in the source, that is where we want to actually do our calculation. Okay, so what I want to do is simple. Okay, first I can copy this, yeah, or I think we can use it here. It's still fine. Okay, instead of copying and pasting here, we can use this. So what I want to do to just show you is I want to calculate the ratings. So the ratings is going to be rating sum divided by the ratings count. Okay, so whatever the rating sum is, okay, so if the user has 2 ratings, so the first one is a 5-star rating, the second one is a 5-star rating, so the rating sum will be 10, and then the ratings count will be 2 because they are 2 different ratings from maybe 2 different buyers. Okay, so now to calculate the rating, it is going to be rating sum divided by the ratings count, where we are going to use it to get the actual rating. So if the user has 2 ratings, maybe the first one is 4 and the second one is 9. Oh, sorry, the second one is 5. The rating sum is going to be 4 plus 5, which is 9, and the ratings count is going to be 2. Now to get the ratings, it's going to be rating sum divided by ratings count. So that is the operation we want to perform. We want to use this filter script to calculate the ratings. So it's going to be rating sum divided by ratings count. But we need to do a check because we don't want Elasticsearch to try to calculate for cases where the ratings count is 0. So if your ratings count is 0, because you cannot divide by 0, okay? So we don't want it to return an error. So we are going to check if ratings count is not equal to 0. Then we divide ratings sum by ratings count. Okay, so we are going to use what we have right here. Okay, now for this the lang, I'll set this to painless, and then for the params, I'm going to set a property called threshold. Okay, So the threshold, I'll set this to 5. This is the value that we want to use so Elasticsearch can return the document where the ratings matches, the ratings for each document match this threshold. So if after doing the calculation, the rating is 4.5, then it's not equal to this threshold. It's not going to return that document. If the rating is 4.9, it doesn't match this threshold. It's not going to return the document. But if the rating after the calculation is 5 and then it's equal to this threshold, then Elasticsearch will return that document. Okay, so now let's perform the calculation, and I think at this point we will likely not get any documents or any results because we don't have any 5-star ratings. But here I will try, let's add it first and then we'll think of how we can update. Okay, so here I will say doc, so we need to get it from doc, from the doc object, so all of our properties. So this is going to be doc, and then the property we need is the rating. We want to check, okay, to make sure that rating sum is not equal to 0. We can use ratings count or rating sum as long as one of these is not 0. Okay, as long as rating sum is not 0, it doesn't matter if we use ratings count. Okay, so we can use rating sum. So here, if rating sum dot value, okay, we are getting the value property from the doc. Okay, if it's not equal to 0, okay, remember I said it doesn't matter if the rating sum is 0, it doesn't matter what the value of the ratings count is. Okay, so if rating sum is not equal to 0, and then and we can use the and operator. Okay, and I'll use brackets. Okay, and then inside the bracket, if doc of rating sum, I think I already pasted, yeah, doc of rating sum dot value divided by let me see if I can move this for now. Okay, divided by doc of rating sum, or rather the other property, ratings count dot value. So if the rating sum divided by the ratings count is equal to the threshold, and we can get the threshold from params, and then in brackets I get the threshold. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are checking if rating sum is 0, because if rating sum is 0, irrespective of whatever the ratings count is, it will always return 0. Okay, so if rating sum, here we are saying if it is not equal to 0, because we don't want to perform a calculation where the value will be returned will be 0, or if a calculation where 0 divided by 0, it will always throw an error. So if rating sum dot value is not equal to 0, and then in brackets rating sum dot value divided by ratings count dot value, if the result of this division is equal to the threshold, that this threshold value, okay, then we should return the document. Okay, so that is what Elasticsearch will do. But right here, if I try this, let's see. Right here, yeah, it's giving some runtime errors. Okay, it's fine. I think probably because we don't have, yeah, it says no field for, I think I made a mistake with the spelling. It says rating sum. Yeah, this is correct. I'm getting an error. Okay, rating sum, I think, yeah, I'll have to take a look. It says no field found for rating sum in mapping. I have to look at it and find out why. Yeah, I think the issue is because here in the get, I did not add the index. Okay, so go ahead and add the index if you don't have it. And now if I try this again, hits here, and you can see it returned 0 hits. Okay, so the hits array is empty. Okay, at this point. So what we're going to do is I'll just let's just add it, and then probably I will try to update a particular document. So I'll add the ratings value and the ratings count, and then we'll test this again. But one other thing we can add is we can add the specific fields to search. Okay, so to do that, it's very simple. We will copy this must array. So you can copy this part right here. So copy this part, and then after the filter, you can add this property. We want to search the categories, and let's get a particular category. Let's say we want to search this particular field, all the documents with this same category. Okay, and then we hit enter. You can see it returns an empty array. Okay, so you can see it right here. It contains an empty array. Okay, so let's just go ahead and create this method. Okay, I'm going to use it down here. Okay, we are going to need this, so I'll copy all of these queries, and let's go ahead, or maybe let me copy one of these first. Okay, and then paste right here. I'll change the name to get top rated gigs by category. Okay, so this is going to just take the search query. So this is going to be search query. Okay, and then here I will just set the size. I'll hard code it. I'll set it to 10. Okay, and then for the query, this is what we need. So we can copy. You can copy the query here. I think it's going to be easier for us. I will replace this one, and let me fix all issues. And here it's going to be categories, but here for the query, let's use the same format that we've used before, which is this. So copy this one and then place right here. Okay, and we can go ahead and export this. Now for this, I will remove the quotes. So just go ahead and remove these quotes so that it uses the same structure as the others. Okay, and then so remove this also from threshold. Okay, this is supposed to be params. Okay, and then I'll remove this here as well. Okay, and we have the get top rated gigs by category. So what I'll do is I'll try to update a particular document, and then we'll test this query command again.